Welcome to the discussion of the topic about interest on mortgage, amortization, services, utilities, deposits, and loans. To begin, let us first define the following terminologies that we will encounter as we go through in this lesson. We have here mortgage. It refers to a business loan or consumer loan that is secured with the collateral. When we say business loan, the purpose of loan is for business, having a business. Consumer loan, an individual secure loan for personal usage, personal purposes. Okay, that is being secured with a collateral. So collateral is required so that when a borrower cannot pay the loan, the lender, yung nagpapautang, has the right to the collateral. So for business loan, the common collateral are real estate assets, just like the land, the building, the houses, machineries, and equipment. Collateral refers to any asset used to secure the loan that can be forfeited in case of default. Okay, so mortgage guys, basta may collateral tayo. So usually ito yung mga umuutang sa bangko for housing loans, for business purposes. Kailangan meron silang i-declare na asset just to cover their borrowed amount from that bank to secure the loan. If ever they cannot pay the loan, okay, in that case. So merong collateral kasi ito yung assurance ng bank in case na hindi ka makapagbayad. So, parang hindi sila malulugi. Okay? That is for assurance purposes. So, that is mortgage. Next, we have amortization. What is amortization? It is simply a method of paying a loan. Okay? Take note of that. Ito lang yung method ng pagbabayad ng loan. So, ano-ano yung mga loan na yon? For example, loan sa bangko, loan sa SSS, loan sa GSIS, loan sa pag-ibig, loan sa mga lending companies, okay? Or even in purchasing some mobile phone, laptops, and any gadgets at pinasok mo siya sa home credit, pati yung mga home appliances. So, ang pagbabayad mo doon, that is what we call amortization. Bakit siya amortization? Ano yung amortization na yan? So, that is on installment basis yung pagbabayad mo, usually of equal amounts at regular intervals. So, usually ito ay binabayaran in a monthly basis na kung saan every month, yung mga binabayaran mo equal lang ang amount noon. So, yung amount na yun na binabayaran mo regularly is the sum of the principal plus the interest. Ibig sabihin, may bahagi ng principal na binawas at kasama ang interest hanggang sa tuluyan mo nang mabayaran lahat ng inutang mo. Okay, so the purpose of amortization is to lower the current balance on a loan that the borrower can easily pay it regularly for a long period of time. So that is amortization. Next, we have term of loans. It refers to the time to pay or how long are you going to have to pay your loan, which is usually expressed in years. So in loan, guys, we have short term and long term. Pag sinabi natin short term, usually ito ay within 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, hanggang 5 years. Pag sinabi naman natin long term, ito ay more than 5 years. 10-year loan, 15 years, up to 20 years. So those were the term of loan. Here we have chattel mortgage. It is a mortgage on a movable property. It could be a boat, a vehicle, home appliances, jewelry, gadgets, and other financial instruments like stocks and bonds. So, kapag ikaw ay nanguha ng mga gadgets or appliances at pinasok mo siya sa home credit, ang tawag mo doon is chattel mortgage. Chattel mortgage. Okay? Next, we have outstanding balance. It refers to the unpaid interest-bearing balance of a loan or the total amount na hindi mo pa nababayaran plus the interest itself, that is the outstanding balance. Then we have prospective method. One of the methods to compute the outstanding balance. So, paano to? It is by determining the present value of all the remaining payments. So, that is the prospective method kung magkano na ba nga ba ang balance mo at the moment. Okay? That is prospective method. Now we have here the two terminology. We have the mortgagee and the mortgagor. Okay, when we say mortgagee, the lender in the mortgage. Yung nagpapautang. The mortgagor, it's the borrower in the mortgage. Ito yung nangungutang. Okay? Now, let's proceed to the world problem samples regarding our topic. So we have here the super wheel company wanted to branch out on disinfecting materials. So they borrowed 500,000 pesos from a bank using his building as a mortgage. Okay. Then the rate of interest is 12% and to be repaid in full after a year. So how much is to be paid after 1 year? So the first thing to do is to find and to write down all the given values we have on the problem. So we have here 500,000 as the principal amount kasi ito yung uutangin nila sa bangko. And the rate of that, the rate of interest is 12% in decimal, that is 0.12. Always express the rate in its decimal equivalent. Take note of that. And then the time t, that is equal to 1 year. So after 1 year nila babayaran. Okay, remind ko lang that pag sinabi nating mortgage, amortization, the process here, it uses the concept of compound interest. Since we are looking for the how much is to be paid after 1 year, that is the future or the maturity value, then we have to use the formula for the future value of compound interest. That is F is equal to P, the principal amount, times the quantity of 1 plus R, the rate, raised to T, the year. Okay, using this formula, let's plug in the values. We have P, 500,000 pesos times 1 plus the rate, which is 0.12, raised to the power of t, which is the value of the time, which is 1. Then with that, we're going to have to add first the 2 inside this parenthesis. So 1 plus 0.12, that is 1.12. And then 1.12 raised to 1, that is simply equal to 1.12. Then we will be multiplying 1.12 to 500,000. Okay, as you can see. Then upon multiplication, the answer would be equal to 560,000 pesos. So this is now the amount to be paid after 1 year. So that is the conclusion. Thus, the amount of 560,000 pesos is to be paid after 1 year. And with that, we already answer the problem. Okay, let's proceed. Now we proceed to world problem number 2. Mr. Dimagi borrowed from a bank for the purchase of his L300 van worth 800,000 pesos that he will use in his business. He is to pay the bank the amount of 15,000 pesos monthly, regularly within 5 years. The question is, how much is the total interest? First thing to do is to find and write all the given. We have 800,000 pesos. It's the principal amount because ito yung amount na kanyang hihiramin sa bangko just to buy the van that he wanted. Then the monthly payment, letter A or letter R, is equal to 15,000 pesos kasi ito yung kanyang babayaran regularly kada buwan. Then the time T is 5 years. Within 5 years niya dapat mabayaran yung kanyang hiniram na pera sa bangko. Then M, that is equal to 12. So M refers to the number of conversion. Since monthly naman yan, 1 year has 12 months. Therefore, M is equal to 12. Okay? Then the first thing to do is to find the value or the future value. Lahat ng kanyang babayaran. So that is the future value denoted by capital letter F is equal to capital letter A, the monthly payment, times N. So ano itong N na to? So N pertains to the number of payment. Okay, within 5 years, within the time, the duration of the loan made by Mr. Dimagba. So N can be computed by the formula T times M, where T is the time and M is the number of conversion. Using the variable we have, using the values we have on the given, T is 5, times natin siya sa M, which is 12. So 5 times 12, that is 60. Therefore, there were 60 total number of payments to be made within 5 years. Okay, so we can now solve for the value of the future value. Ayan lang. So A is equal to 15,000. This is the monthly payment given above. And then N is 60. So 15,000 times 60, multiply lang natin. That would yield as to 900,000 pesos. So ito lahat-lahat ng babayaran ni Mr. Dimagiba within 5 years. But the question is asking for the total interest. So, to solve for the total interest, gonna have to use the formula. Total interest is equal to F minus P, where F is the future value, given naman dito, and P is the principal amount, given din dito. So, let's substitute the values we have. So, 900,000 pesos minus 800,000 pesos, that is equal to 100,000 pesos all in all. And therefore, the total interest after 5 years is 100,000 pesos. This is now the conclusion, and we already solved the problem number 2. This time, let's proceed with word problem number 3. So Mr. Magtanong bought a tractor for his farm. The price of the tractor is 400,000 pesos after paying for its down payment. Okay, pagkatapos na babayaran yung down payment, ang halaga ng tractor is 400,000 pesos. So, if the interest rate is 9%, yung interest rate, compounded monthly for 3 years, how much will be the monthly payment? Okay, ang hinahanap naman dito is the monthly payment, capital letter A or letter R. Okay, the regular payment. First thing to do is to find and write down all the given. We have 400,000 pesos. This is now the principal amount. We have here I raised to M. M is refers to the number of conversions. Since ito ay compounded monthly, then that is 12. So I raised to 12. That is 9% or 0.09. Then the time is 3 years. Kasi for 3 years niya babayaran. M, 12 as what I have mentioned. Then letter J. Okay, letter J, guys. Paano nakuha ito? We just divide 0.09 by 12. And we came up to 0.0075. Pag dinivide natin tong, kasi ito is annual rate niya to. Since ito ay kada buwan, divide lang natin yan sa 12. Kaya ang kanyang rate per month is 0.0075. This is the monthly interest rate. Then the value of N is equal to 36. So, paano nakuha yung 36? That is T, the time, 3 years, times M. 3 times 12, that is 36. As what I have mentioned on example number 2. Okay, let's proceed. Then, we're gonna have to use this as our working equation. So, letter P is equal to R, the regular payment, times 1 minus quantity 1 plus J raised to negative N all over J. So, this is the formula of simple annuity, if I'm not mistaken, in computing for the value of the present value. Okay. Using that equation, we're gonna have to substitute. Let's compute pala the value of letter R. So what is letter R? R refers to the monthly payment, or letter A. We can use capital letter A. We can use them. Okay? So we just gotten this. We got this formula from this working equation. Kapag missing yung letter R, this is the formula to be used. Okay? We just derive. We derive this from this working equation. So with that, we can now substitute the values we have on the given. So for P, we have 400,000, the principal amount. Okay? 1 minus 1, quantity 1 plus J. The value of J is 0.075 raised to negative N. N is 36. So we have here negative 36 all over J, which is 0.0075. The first thing to do is to add these two numbers enclosed by a parenthesis. So what that is equal to 1.0075, then raised to negative 36. Using your scientific calculator, input 1.0075 raised to negative 36, then press equal sign. Then that will yield to a result equal to 0.76414891. This is the complete value. Okay, take note, paki-include, pakilagay ang complete value for us to attain the best result or the most accurate result. And with that, we can now subtract this 2. So 1 minus 0.76414891, subtract lang natin yan. That is equal to 0.2358511039 divided by 0.0075. Then after that, we will be dividing this numbers, the decimal numbers, on the denominator. Kasi ito ay naka-fraction, then we have to divide the 2. The numerator must be divided by the denominator. So that is equal to 31.4468,052. Saan nakuha yung 31.4468,052? That is by dividing 0.2358511039 by 0.0075. Okay? And with that, we can now finally divide 400,000 pesos by this decimal number below on the denominator. So using your calculator by division, okay, by dividing them, the quotient is equal to 12,719 pesos and 89308 in centavos. Okay? So therefore, the monthly payment will be 12,719.89308 or simply 12,720 pesos kapag ni-round off natin to the nearest ones. Kapag gusto natin ng whole number. Okay? And with that, we already solved the problem. Now let's have the word problem number 4. So Miss Cardino borrowed money from a bank and used her house as a collateral. She will have monthly amortization of 11,122 pesos and 22 centavos for 5 years. Sa loob ng 5 taon siya babayaran. So this was computed based on an interest rate of 12%. So this is the annual interest rate. The question is, how much is the outstanding balance after 2 years? To answer this problem, let's find and write down all the given. So we have here 11,122 pesos and 22 centavos as the regular payment kasi yun ang nakalagay na monthly amortization, yung binabayaran niya. Okay? Then the interest rate I raised to M, that is 12% in decimal, that is equal to 0.12. Remember, we are going to express the rate in its decimal equivalent as always. So, ang M natin dito, since given sa ating problem, monthly amortization every month, so that is 12. Diba? How many months do we have in a year? That is 12 months. So, therefore, M is 12. So, 12 ang kanyang number of conversion period. And at the time T, the term of the loan, that is about 5 years. So, for within 5 years, dapat mabayaran niya yung loan niya. And then M, the conversion period, since monthly yan, 12. And then letter J, it refers to the monthly interest rate kasi monthly nakalagay dito. So, paano ito nakuha? That is simply by dividing the annual interest rate by the conversion period. We have 0.12 divided by 12. So, that is equal to 0.01. And then N, the total number of payments made. So, that is, this can be computed by simply multiplying the time T, which is 5 years, to the number of conversion period per year, which is 12. So, 5 times 12 is 60. Okay, this is now the total number of payments to be made within 5 years. Okay, so we're gonna have to use this formula in computing for the outstanding balance after 2 years. Okay, this is B sub K is equal to R, the regular payment, times the quantity of 1 minus quantity 1 plus J raised to negative quantity of N minus K all over J. So, letter K refers to the number of payments made. Ito na yung nabayaran, number of payments paid. So, to compute for this one, since given dito sa atin, balance after 2 years, ibig sabihin, nabayaran na ni Miss Cardino ang kanyang borrowed money na sa loob ng 2 taon, nakapagbayad na siya. So, since ang ating, we have 2 years, and since our conversion period is monthly, that is 12, so we multiply 2 to 12. So, 2 times 12, that is 24. Ibig sabihin, Sa loob ng 2 taon, 24 payments na ang nagawa ni Miss Cardino. Okay, and then with that, we can now substitute all the given to our formula. So B sub 24 is equal to the regular payment. This is the amount. Okay, 1 minus quantity 1 plus J. J is 0.01. We plug it here. Plug in the values. Then raise to negative quantity of N. What is N? 60 minus K, which is 24. Okay, all over J, which is also equal to 0.01. Okay, next thing to do is to subtract 60 minus 20, this one, 60 minus 24, and we need to add the 2, 1 plus 0.01. So we have here 1 minus quantity 1.01 raised to negative 36. So paano nakuha yung 36? That is by subtracting 60 to 24. 60 minus 24, that is 36. And this time, let's get the value of this. 1 plus 1.01 raised to negative 36. Okay, using your scientific calculator, input 1.01 raised to negative 36, then press equal sign, and that is equal to, and then subtract the to 1, that it would be equal to 0.30107505 all over 1. Then we are going to divide this decimal number by 0.01, and that is equal to 30.107505. So as you can see, I put all the complete value of the decimal numbers. Okay? So we are going to multiply the 2, and that is equal to 334,862 pesos and 29 centavos. Therefore, the outstanding balance after 2 years is 334,862 pesos and 29 centavos. And there, we already solved the word problem number 4. Let us have now word problem number 5. So Miss Alaska decided to pay all her debts because she plans to migrate in the USA. Her house is still under mortgage after 6 years of paying it with an amount of 81,372 pesos and 70 centavos per year. The original amount of loan is 500,000 pesos with 10% interest per annum or per year and to be paid within 10 years. How much should she prepare for the remaining 4 years outstanding balance? Okay, we have to find and write down all the given. We have 81,372 and 70 centavos as the regular payment. Then we have the annual interest rate of, sabi dito, 10%, and that is equal to 0.1 or 0.10. And the term of loan is 10 years. That is letter T. And then the conversion period, binabayaran niya as indicated per year. O ito, nakalagay dito per year. Therefore, that is equal to 1. And then J natin, since that is per year, is only equal to 0.1. And then N, the total number of payments, since that is for 10 years, the term of loan, that is by multiplying the time T, which is 10, times M, which is 1. 10 times 1, that is 10. So, ibig sabihin, 10 payments lang ang kanyang gagawin within 10 years. Okay, nahanap dito ang kanyang outstanding balance. So, same as problem number 4, we have to use this formula. Okay, to find K, okay, to find letter K, we are going to what? Since 4 years ang kanyang outstanding balance, 4 years na daw ang remaining. So, ibig sabihin, ang nabayaran niya na is 10 minus 4 is 6 years. So, we have K equals 6 in here. Okay, so that's why we have B sub 6 equals the regular payment, which is 81,372 pesos and 70 centavos. Then, plug in the remaining values we have for each variable in our formula. J is equal to 0.1. Plug it here. 0.1, 0.1. Raised to negative n. N is 10. We have here 10 minus K. K is 6. Paano nakuha yung 6? That is by subtracting 10 years to 4 years. So 10 years minus 4 years, that is 6. Kasi 6 years na ang kanyang nababayaran. Kasi ang remaining na hindi niya nabayaran is 4. That's why 6 years na ang nababayaran. Then, let's simplify. That is 1 minus 1 plus 0.1. 10 minus 6, that is 4. 1 plus 0.1, 1.1. Raised to negative 4, that is 0.316986545. Remind ko lang na this value is the complete value of this one, 1.1 raised to negative 4. Then we are going to divide that by 0.1 using our scientific calculator. That is equal to 3.16986545. Again, it's the complete value. Let's multiply that to the regular payment, and it will yield to 257,940 pesos and 51 centavos. So this is now the outstanding balance of Miss Alaska to her loan. Okay? For the remaining 4 years. Ito na ang kanyang babayaran. Okay, this is now our conclusion. Let's proceed to word problem number 6. Mr. Moreno's house was mortgaged for 200,000 pesos with a 6% of interest to be paid in 30 years. So this is now the term of loan. The question is, what is the amount of interest after a year? So the given we have is principal amount 200,000 pesos. The term of loan is 30 years. The annual interest is 0.06. Since mortgage talks about compound interest, then we are asked to find the interest after a year, then we are going to use this formula. I is equal to F minus P. And since there is no future value indicated on the problem, then we must express F as P times the quantity of 1 plus R raised to T. Kung saan ito naman ang ating formula in compounding interest in finding for the future value of compounding interest. And with this, we can now substitute the given values we have on the problem. So P is 200,000 pesos, as you can see. Then rate R is 0.06 at the time. We're going to put 1. Why 1? Because the problem is asking the interest after a year. Then we add 1 plus 0.06. That is simply 1.06 raised to 1, still 1.06 pa rin. Then multiply to 200,000. That is 212,000 pesos. Then subtract that to 200,000. Therefore, the interest after a year is 12,000 pesos. Then if we are going to use the simple interest formula, I is equal to PRT, since the problem is looking for the interest after a year. Then by plugging in the values, 200,000 as the principal amount, 0.6 as the rate, and 1 as the time. By multiplication, we can also derive 12,000 pesos as the interest after a year. Same lang tong dalawa kapag 1 year lang siya. This time, let me illustrate to you how to create or construct amortization table. The first step is to create a 5-column table for time, total payment, interest paid, principal, paid, and ending balance consecutively, as you can see on the screen. Okay, step number 2, write on the time column the year, dito to yun, year or month of payment. Then write the amount of amortization paid on the total payment column, depending on how many payments are needed. So year 0 up to 5. So this is yearly pinabayaran. So itong total payment, nakalagay dito yung amortization mo, monthly amortization, but this time, this is not monthly, yearly siya. Since we have here the word year and the number 0 up to 5. Ito yung regular payment mo, which is 26,379 pesos and 75 centavos. Now, step number 3, multiply the interest rate on the loan by the remaining balance. Okay? In the first payment is the original amount, then write the amount on the interest paid columns. So, the ending balance on the first row is 100,000. It refers to the total amount that you borrowed. Ito yung inutang mo or na-loan mong amount na pera. 100,000 pesos. So, paano makukuha yung interest paid as well as the principal paid? So, the step are, or for example, ang interest rate natin is 10%. To compute for the interest paid is equal to the ending balance times the interest rate. The interest rate is 10%. So with that, we have here 100,000. Ito yung una nating balance, the ending balance. Okay? 100,000 times the interest rate 10% in decimal, that is 0.1. So, 100,000 times 0.1, that is 10,000 pesos. And for the principal amount, gagawin natin dyan, subtract the payment amount from the interest paid and write the difference in the principal paid column. So, paano yon? Principal paid is equal to the total payment, which is 26,379 pesos and 75 pesos minus the interest paid 10,000 pesos. Therefore, the principal paid is 16,379 pesos and 75 centavos. Okay, and then for the ending balance, that is for step number 5, subtract the last ending balance. Ito yon, by the principal. Okay, and put the result in the ending balance column. So 100,000 pesos minus 16,379 pesos and 75 cents. So by subtracting the two, 100,000 minus this one, the answer is 83,620 pesos and 25 centavos. So we have the 5 steps. So same lang ng steps na gagamitin natin. Ito, interest rate. Okay, times natin dito. Talagay natin dito. So, these were the values when we complete the data on the table. So, hanggang sa maging 0 na yung ending balance. So, this is the process of amortization. Okay? So, that would be all. Thank you so much for your time.